Welcome back to another episode of Cats Out the Bag. Today I have my girl LK with me, or Boogie, whatever you want to call her. Everybody's calling her different shit.
Different.
Every time it's different. It depends on who's around us. I don't know what they're gonna call her today. It could be Boogie. I have the two Tays with me.
Hey.
Returning.
Tay one, Tay two.
Yeah.
We should have separated them.
No. I said that before we started. You didn't listen.
Absolutely not.
It sounds like jealousy to me, boys.
No. Okay. Today we're
I don't know
gonna
what that
try
word
and
is.
get a little serious. Today we're gonna
Oh.
try and get a little serious on today's pod
That's
because
why I
we're
drank
gonna
my
talk
Red
about
Bull.
Ola, do it. No, I'm just kidding. All right, go. I'm
we're gonna talk about sexual harassment.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny. But when you think about it, I guess in today's day and world, what comes to mind? We'll go round
That
robin.
one episode of The Office, the
Oh,
sexual harassment office.
that's what you think of when you think of
Yeah.
sexual harassment?
Either that or that one time that had that dummy and they were doing,
That's not sexual
so-
harassment.
I know, but it just comes to the mind.
It's not.
Safe,
That's sick.
safe environment.
CPR
for
makes you think of sexual harassment.
CPR, sexual
God
harassment.
forbid you pass out.
Oh
right
my
next to
god.
me.
He's gonna wake up tongue kissing the guy.
No, I'm gonna be sitting there like pussy talk, pussy deep, pussy. Hey.
Sexual harassment. What do you
There
think
it is.
Go that way.
I was supposed to start with you.
Oh, you were supposed to start with me. What do I think of it?
Yeah, like what is your definition of it? And I will read the definition after when everyone's done.
My definition of sexual harassment is from possibly a place of authority and a sexual undertone for like an exchange of like favors.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of people think sexual harassment is, can I get your number? Can I get your number?
Yeah.
Can I get,
Mhm,
that's
right.
not sexual harassment, or you look good, or checking out some girl's ass. It's different.
Yeah.
So that's what I think my definition of it. That's always what I've associated it with.
Mhm.
It made me really think about it when you asked me about the topic this week and if I've ever been. So like, I really had to like dive into it, and that's what I'm going with. That's my answer. Final answer.
What your answer is still Michael Scott?
Michael
the office?
Scott.
Or
Do you want to go
No,
again?
I would say, like, my definition of, like, real sexual harassment is where someone in power makes you feel uncomfortable in the workspace using that degree of power to supplement your salary or amount of money that you're being paid.
Well said.
Yeah.
Lot of big words.
Yeah, I really
Really got
tried on
serious.
that
Yeah.
line.
You did great.
Thank you.
What about you?
Same. No, let me stop. I think
Tay
I
two?
think my definition it's definitely very similar to theirs because I don't know. I feel like the term is very loosely thrown around. I mean, loosely thrown around these days.
Mhm.
I think even if it's not in a workplace, you could obviously still be sexually harassed just by like
So I said
people
like
around you.
authority. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. But you exactly using it as like power over somebody, using it to
Yeah.
like degrade
Yeah.
somebody, things of that sort. That's obviously unsolicited for you to be doing. Then to me, that's sexual harassment. Like actual like she said, actual sexual harassment.
Keyword.
Actual.
Actual. So
Or
I feel
sexual.
like in today's day and age, everybody's using it so loosely that it's like evolved into this thing. And there's some people that are using it and it's not true. And they know that they could get the people in trouble. But I agree with all of you. Like it's maybe not the Office reference,
Yeah.
but
Can I say something as a people of the community? I really do think that there is a point in this time where a lot of people are very sensitive.
mm-hmm.
I'm not sensitive. You could say whatever to me, as long as you don't call me a faggot, it's all good. Like, we're gonna cross the lines, we're gonna dot the T's. It is what it is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still a person and just respect me and, you know,
Yeah.
don't call me out of my name.
Right.
That's not doing sexual harassment.
Move the mic closer to your mouth. And I didn't mean that as the
There it
sexual
is.
harassment.
That
I'm
HR.
sorry.
HR.
I'm sorry. The mic
Everybody's
is
gonna avoid that scene from Burn After Rolling.
Well,
The
one
mic
of the
is going
things.
to call sexual harassment.
Imagine I get a note in my HR folder on Monday from the fucking microphone, the one that we're
No
all been
one-
beaten up
yeah,
on.
literally.
Not
Fuck
this
that
poor
mic.
microphone.
That-
She's so
that piece of shit
innocent.
mic.
I
Yeah.
love that it's a girl.
Yeah,
I
she
know,
didn't
no,
even-
literally,
is
she
just
really is a girl.
so
You can just
innocent.
tell.
She didn't even
Look
want to
at
sit
her.
next to
You
me
You see
today.
how
frail.
unstable she is? It has
She's
to
so
be a
frail. She's so frail.
Frable.
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 You think unstable? I thought lazy. Man.
Ugh.
You wanted something though. You
Yeah.
wanted something though.
Yeah, right. Limp dick.
Serious.
want
This
no
is a
short
Oh my
serious
God.
pod.
Serious.
This is a
Hey,
serious pod.
Let me
This is a
reel this
serious
back
pod.
in. Let me reel
Reel
this back
back
in.
in.
Yeah,
Reel
it's a
back
So,
in.
serious
like
pod.
I said, casual
back in.
flirting or
Almost
even
knocked my teeth
being
out.
nice to a person could now be construed as sexual harassment to some people. But the definition of it is sexual harassment includes many things: actual or attempted rape or sexual assault, unwanted pressure for sexual favors, unwanted deliberate touching, leaning over, cornering, pinching, unwanted sexual looks, gestures, unwanted letters, telephone calls, or materials of the sexual nature. That's actually a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So like when they say like items of like sexual nature, with like dropping a dildo off at somebody's
Yeah, like
house,
if we
what
if
is
we did
that?
like a work like Christmas party and I was a man of power and I
Okay.
like gifted you a dildo at the work
Yeah, that's
Christmas
crazy.
party
That's
and
wild.
wrote a
That's
note
wild.
and
Yeah,
wrote
that's
a
wild.
note like, you know,
like hey, yeah.
your performance evaluation's coming up next week.
Show me what
Just
you could
keep
do on
in
camera
mind.
with
Yeah.
this dildo.
That's
Just-
what I
just
was
a heads
thinking.
up.
Honestly, I was really thinking at the end of the year, performance values. Like, what do you do? Like, if you're at a Christmas party, you're just having fun, and you think you're with your work friends, who are
That's
your
right.
friends who you see 5 days a week.
They not your friends.
They're not your friends. That's
not
what you
your
gotta
friends.
They're not your
you
friends.
gotta learn who your friends are.
Mhm.
Listen, I
They ain't your friends.
I've learned.
holiday parties are holiday parties. In my head, it's a work event. I may get drunk,
That's
but
right.
I'm
Blacking out.
always
I'm blacking out.
it's a work
We're
event.
black.
It's a work event.
I just want
It's
to
a
know.
work event.
It is. I'll be
this,
drunk, but it's a work event.
Is this footage available for other people to see?
Like them
Like-
blackout drunk at a work event.
That
That, yeah.
Or this podcast.
That,
I'm very
yeah.
was
confused.
a pure yes. People are gonna see this podcast, so they could see my eyes when I'm thinking I'm on a podcast. So I'm like, oh, nobody's gonna see my face, and I'm like, oh yeah, you guys are all talking about sexual harassment and all this, and I'm like, not me, never.
You've never been sexually harassed.
No,
Oh.
I have.
You have.
But I'm saying in my eyes, like in my eyes, the camera's seeing me
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
saying like, oh no, never, not me.
Because you're an innocent little boy, or because you're not a rat.
Damn.
Listen, I'm not a girl. I'm not yet a woman.
Okay, Brittany.
Yeah.
I don't know what that has to do with sexual harassment.
I was like, in
I'm
my head,
so
I was
sorry.
like, so
I
we
got-
had to-
I
Yeah.
got so off topic. I'm so sorry. It was the White Claws.
Was it?
Was it?
He's intuitive with his own body.
Or the bottle of rosé I drank prior to coming here. Because I
Okay,
did
that's
not
what it
know.
was.
That's what it is.
That's
That
what it
now we
was.
nailed the fucking head on the hammer.
No. No.
Hit me with the button.
No.
Okay, so I feel like when you're growing up and you're a girl, people will always be like, watch out for your daughter. She's a slut if she dresses a certain way. Or they'll say all of these things about women. Like, if you've seen the Barbie movie, and I really only watched the one clip, like, they have this long explanation about all these things that women are taught, like, from a young age, like how to act, how to dress, how to do all of these things because they need to be respectful, but they can't be too respectful or they're not going to be cool enough. They can't be too heavy or they're not pretty enough. And all of these things are put on certain women's shoulders as you're growing up. You get like insecurities and shit about it. But I feel like it's the same thing with men. Like, they'll be like, men can't cry. Men
Yeah.
can't have emotion. Men can't feel vulnerable. So men are always built up to be dogs, and then girls are built up to be a different way. And then people will be like, why is your daughter dressed like that? She's acting like a slut, but they didn't raise their son to be an upstanding fucking citizen.
Yeah.
Can
To
I
not
just
be
say
a
they
fucking
always,
weirdo.
can I just say though they always compare men to dogs? Have y'all ever seen a bitch in heat?
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
okay, men are dogs, but dogs in heat
Or dogs.
are dogs. Rubbing all up in their
Yeah.
face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
All
think
over.
that's a
Rough,
horrible
rough.
analogy because bitches in heat is worse.
Probably
You know
is.
what?
Humans
Absolutely.
and dogs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It
But
is
more so
much
when I
worse
say
being
dogs,
a
I mean
woman.
pieces of shit.
I would say it's 100% worse being a woman than being a man growing
Thanks.
No
Potato,
argument there.
potato.
Yeah.
Potato,
up.
potato.
Dead silence.
We weren't
But
expecting
yeah,
that.
no, I respect women because you know what? Like, you guys do a lot more than
Like, create life.
have your period. That's one. I couldn't do that. I have a cold and I'm out for 2 days. Do not talk to me. I'm going to call in sick. I'm going to do whatever I can to do to not be outside of my bed as a man.
So then
I'm
why?
also,
so-
I'm not going to say I'm the most manly man. I'm a pussy.
Are you saying kind of that women may possibly be just stronger and well equipped, better equipped than men?
Well, I'm just saying, as a gay man,
Uh-huh.
I realize what women do, and I'm not going to be the one to speak for men.
So why do you think that more women get sexually harassed, or it's more of a man on woman thing? If you have, you know what I'm saying, like, you're a man at the end of the day, and you have such respect for women, so why do you think women are preyed on like that?
Because I feel like sometimes men who are trying to reach out to, not reach out, I feel like if it happens to a man, there are 9 times out of 10 where he may want something from it, whether or not be sex
Wants
or
or
something.
expects?
No, the victim.
Okay,
I would say, like, men don't victimize themselves.
they don't, right?
They will not. Men are also very self-conscious. They're not going to say, "Oh, this is what happened and this man took advantage of me," because they don't want to take down their masculinity.
Right, it's society standards. Yeah,
Which
I
is-
definitely,
and
I definitely
that's
think.
fine.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know the technical term. Like, the technical term of sexual harassment, never. But like the sensitive version, I've definitely probably harassed a man in my life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
me too.
saying?
I
But y'all
do-
With that dick
logic.
print and those gray sweats,
Me
like,
too.
absolutely.
I definitely, like, sexually harassed a female before. They're like, I just like
So according
I feel,
to the definition, or
According-
like the new age shit.
no, according to both. Like, I will say what I want to say to both sexes, just because I feel like I have a I build a relationship with someone before I feel like I could cross that line.
But then it's not sexual
Yeah,
harassment.
so then
that's
that's
what
your
I'm saying.
friend.
That's not true, because if I went up to my roommate and one day I said, "Oh, you're a fine ass bitch. Like, you're so fine. I want to have sex with you." Just because we're best friends doesn't mean that.
She probably
What
would have thought
I
it was fine
said-
until the sex part.
Yeah, but that does not mean that what I said is not sexual harassment. It's just what she interprets is acceptable or not acceptable. And that's according to every woman. If you like being talked dirty to, that's fine. But there's still a line where you say, okay, there's a line where I don't want to cross, and I don't want you to speak like that to me or treat me like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. And that's where it's like, it's not like a sexual harassment thing. It's more of like, when can we open the lines of communication where everything is open, where no matter what I want to say or what you want to say, or what I want or what you want, is open to do that, if that makes sense.
It does, but that falls more along the line of what people are calling sexual harassment in
Today.
today's
Yeah.
sensitive world. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: this is how I view the world. I think it's a dog eat dog world, right? I think it's prey and predator. I just view humans like that. I always have. And there's predatory people that will prey on the weaker people. I feel like with sexual harassment, I'm so back and forth. Is it a real thing? Like, are there really women out there being sexually harassed to the point where it's affecting their life? Absolutely. My whole thing, though, is even if it's at a job, if you look up what to do when you're sexually harassed, one of the top things is address it. And I feel like a lot of people don't address it in the moment, because you never know, that might shut that shit down right then and there. You know what I mean? Like, also, if you're at a job and you're being sexually harassed, leave the job. You know what I mean? Like, if you're
Absolutely.
not getting the support you need, like,
Right.
leave the job. You don't stay at the job for 20
It's
years being
never
sexually
that
harassed.
easy, though.
And then someone else accuses the CEO of sexual harassment,
And
and
we
then
jump on it.
15 line up and say, he
Yeah.
sexually harassed me. Bitch, you stayed there for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like it's such a heavy accusation in today's time where you can fuck up somebody's life, somebody's career off of your own perception of an interaction.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Sometimes it just takes communication. Just like a lot of times,
Yes and
it'll
no.
be simple, like a simple gesture. Or at least in a sensitive day and age, there'll be times where like a manager pats them on the back, and now because they're mad at the manager later on, now they're he sexually harassed it. He sexually harassed me. He touched
Right.
my back, and it was at the nape of my ass whole time. He just patted her on the back, like. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that
Mhm.
takes away from the people that are actually victims.
Right.
That's
Right, and then
that's a huge issue to me.
And the
Like,
flip side of that is I touch Katie in the same spot on the small of her back every time.
right.
Now Katie's in a bad mood. Katie got back with her man. Katie wants nothing to do with me anymore. And today, because I touched her on the small of her back, it's sexual harassment.
You don't pick and choose when it is and when it's not.
Right.
It's so
It either
hard.
is
It
There,
really is.
there are a
It
lot of people
really
that
is.
engage in the conversations, entertain the actions,
Can I ask
and then
anyone here?
one day it's not okay.
Has anybody here worked in a restaurant?
I've
She
bar-
works
I've-
in a bar.
I've
Well,
bartended.
let me tell you something right now. I work in clubs. I work in lounges, bars all the time.
So you've been in the
And-
kitchen.
Well, not in the kitchen. No, I've been like I work.
You
at
never
like a
been
bar.
in the kitchen?
Part of being a
You never
bartender
had,
is getting
like,
sexually
Anybody
harassed.
in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Like,
At
Yeah.
the pizza, that
it
pizza
really
place.
is, and that's what it's like. It's where you accept the line. It's like, I know if I have someone who I've worked in a kitchen with you, and you're sitting there and you're touching me like this, and you're like, I have chefs like smack my ass when I walk into work before I even clock in,
Mhm.
and then I'll tell them, wait till I clock in, so at least I'm getting paid.
Right. Not sexual harassment though.
Not sexual
You're
harassment.
accepting it. You know what I'm
because yeah,
saying?
because
But-
you're okay with
You
it.
poked your
But-
butt out a little.
But
Yeah.
if
You
you
was
come in,
around like
time out.
that.
Yeah.
If you come in
If
one
I-
day in a
if you
bad mood
catch
and
me
you're like,
on a
that's not
bad-
okay.
If you catch me on a bad day and a customer pisses me off, some
You
Karen-
better not turn it into sexual harassment because you mad.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Right.
And that's my thing.
Okay.
I do not get paid to fight. That's one thing I don't get paid to do.
Fighting's
is fight.
free.
I will not
Fighting's
do it.
free.
And I always tell the cooks there, if they slap my ass and they have a problem with me 3 hours later and they say, fuck you, go die, go do that. I'm like, all right, I will when I clock out. I don't get paid to fight with you. So I'm not going to sit here and infuriate this argument. But that's the thing, like with sexual harassment, it's so crazy. It's like where you let the line go.
Right.
Because, I mean, I've known you for years, but it's not like I'm going to sit there and grab your tit.
Yeah.
I know that is sexual harassment. I know that would make you feel uncomfortable.
Might.
I also feel like it's a certain level of like self-confidence and self-security because like I don't give off the vibe that you could come just sit on my lap or you could just come
Yeah.
rub my back or play with my
Go
hair.
ahead
Like
and
I
try
give
to
off
just
the
touch
vibe
me.
of
I
like
might
don't
bust
touch
you
me.
and
Do
shit.
you know what I'm saying?
I'll
So
cut
like
you.
right.
Word.
So there are friendlier women and men, we'll say, you know what I'm saying, both sexes, that give off that vibe and they may not say anything and then cry about it later.
Right.
Yeah.
Stand up
exactly.
for
You
yourself. If you're
never know.
uncomfortable with
Yeah.
something, say something.
Mhm.
And we get it, you know, like, oh, like sometimes it's not that easy, da 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 da. But if we talking like, okay, now you've been there for over a year, when is enough enough? At a point, like you have to, it's gonna just continue.
I feel like
gonna just continue.
when you make a statement, that's when you draw the line.
Right.
You drew it, and that's where you don't want to do anything more. You don't want to continue on with this type of relationship. Okay, that's the line. That's your first verbal warning. I'm done with that. And then after that, I do believe you have a chance to at least draw your line and
Mhm.
say, this is where I feel uncomfortable, or I don't really feel like I'm kind of vibing with this type of energy. And then after that, if something happens or pursues and you don't want it, that's when you should maybe
beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Leave your
'cause
job.
I ain't gonna
See,
say
what
call
is
the
that? I
cops.
don't know,
You ain't gonna
man.
have me.
I wanna
You ain't
go-
gonna have
I'm gonna
me
black.
saying that I'm gonna call the cops on this mic. No.
Call the cops.
Mm.
You lucky if the cop. You better hope the cops get called.
Even
doing
if,
some
if
shit,
you would have
come
called
on.
the 6th precinct in quorum and said
They gonna have to
something
call
happened
them for
like
you.
that, they would have been like,
Right,
the
they're gonna have to call for you
ambulance.
because I'm gonna beat
What
that
else
dog
is
shit
new?
out
yeah,
you.
should I bring fire or ice
Yeah.
or Ultra Slim?
Right.
Mm.
Period.
What else you got?
Do you feel like what people wear has to do with sexual harassment?
No,
Hell fucking yeah. Hell fucking yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think because a woman dresses provocatively, that means that it opens a door for her to be sexually harassed. I feel like if a woman decides she wants to show off her body, that is her right,
Agreed.
and she should embrace that right and
Mhm.
enjoy that right. And if someone does touch her, say no and keep it pushing.
Doesn't always have to be touching. It could be verbal. Listen, free the nipple. I'm looking at them, and I'm not even a lesbian. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you got nice titties. I might comment if you have them out. I'm a woman, right? I get dressed when I leave the house. If I know I'm wearing something on the more risky side, you know what you're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? You're not wearing your ass cheeks out and your titties out and no one look at me. You're not doing that. You're wearing certain things for attention at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong. Women need sometimes to feel sexy, and that's what makes them feel sexy. But you could put me in all black and not show skin, and I feel the sexiest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's perception again, but I absolutely think it adds to it. I think if you were walking out of the house with your titties out and your ass cheeks out, and then you're annoyed that men are trying to holler at you, you're being a little naive.
My only
I'm not saying
deferral
it's
to that is-
excusable, but I think that there's accountability on both sides.
Yeah, my only opposition to that is when people feel the need to touch them.
No, touching
Catcalling is one
fuck
thing.
no, yeah.
But if a man, just because she's wearing, say you're wearing your work uniform, that
Listen,
shouldn't
it
give a
is
man
not
a right
like the
to
8th
go and
grade
touch them.
Valentine's Day dance where you could just walk up to a girl and grind on her and
Yeah.
dance with her for 45 seconds until
I've
a
had
principal
some of the most like
turns around and says,
yeah, I've had some of the most interesting
Mhm.
experiences, as a bartender. But even like, I'm not gonna lie, I think it plays a role, but at the same time to a degree because it's grown ass men that's gonna go right after them little ass girls every time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Prey
They're
and
gonna
predator.
exactly. So, in this day and age, it's more common than not that older men, especially, are going after younger women just because of the youthful look. So you could be completely fucking covered,
Yeah.
and still get harassed. But I'm coming in. I'm real honest. Y'all know I'm real honest. Coming from somebody that does bartend and do all these things, I model it. You know how the fuck you look in those fucking clothes. You know somebody's gonna say something. You know they're gonna look at you. You could either take it or not. I'm not gonna scream sexual harassment because somebody's like, "Yo, you look fire."
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
all right, thanks. I know that. I'm walking away.
Right.
But now I've had situations where men have like he said, like randomly try to grind up on you. That's a whole other story. You might really
To me, that's different. Right.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
scream sexual harassment. You're risking your life doing shit like that. You're
Right.
risking your life.
okay,
But, like-
Tay, okay.
But like that, come on,
Yeah.
that's what they gonna look. They're gonna say things. The words is not really like necessary to me, at least. When I think of sexual harassment, I'm not gonna lie. In that like catcalling sense, I don't think it like is real. Like not that I don't think it's real, because y'all know y'all cancel
gonna get
culture.
canceled.
Whatever. I think that when you're getting catcalled. Any female, no matter what she's in, I've been catcalled in sweats and a hoodie in my
Right.
jail
Right.
braids. Like, and you're gonna get catcalled regardless. I don't think that's sexual
I
harassment.
don't think so either.
Until they're over here, like, being aggressive.
I
and
don't
Touching,
know.
touching on them braids.
Yeah, exactly. They're getting aggressive with the wording that they're using. If they're just in passing, like, "Oh, you're fired," that's not sexual harassment.
Right.
"Oh, you got a big ass butt," that's not. You probably I don't feel like that is. You could choose to ignore that.
Right.
But if they're like, now if they got you cornered and they're saying
and
something
they're trying
crazy,
to grab on you.
like trying to
that's-
yeah,
come
there's
in,
a,
like
there's a very strict
Yeah,
line of like
there's,
where
like-
you feel like someone's actually like hitting on you.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, in today's
because
day
when
and
do you
age,
say it's
women
like,
are
is someone
taking a
hitting
man
on you or
complimenting them and
sexually
switching
harassing
it.
you.
you could be at work these days and somebody could just be like, "Wow, like you look really nice today," and you came into work for the last like 366 days looking
Right.
crazy. Somebody just
Right.
that one manager's like, "Wow, you look nice today," and boom, sexual harassment.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got,
Get
I
him
got
outta
something for your
here.
ass, Joe.
And a
Get him
year
outta
and
here.
one day
Right.
before that, she
Girl,
was
he's
dressed
in
the
shock.
exact same.
You look crazy all the time. He's in awe. Like, can you take the compliment? we're all amazed
Right.
by what we're looking at. Like, you're not gonna. That's crazy to me.
Mhm.
That's what I mean by it gets thrown around so loosely. Like, God forbid that girl having a bad day, like y'all said, her man cheated on her, or whatever the case.
And today it's
And
not
then,
okay.
And then
Right.
today he said good morning, love, every morning for the last
That's
3-4
your
months.
that's your work husband.
That's exactly. Now it's no, HR.
Kevin's
What?
at it again.
I swear I've only
Literally.
been a server my whole life, and I worked for private businesses when I was a funeral director. I don't even know what HR is.
Human
Like,
resources.
Well, I do know.
Okay,
what it
I was
is,
like, just
but
making sure.
I'm like,
If
if I were to call my restaurant, I'd be like HR. I'd probably call the fucking restaurant, and
Right,
I'd get
not even knowing
looped
where to
back
call.
to the hostesses
Right.
who've been sitting there like.
They be having HR on speed dial these days. That's their cousin. God forbid. Let me.
All right,
Let
I
you
got a
personally
question.
Cousin.
Now that we've defined the actual
Right, the
definition of
actual
sexual
one.
harassment, anybody been sexually harassed?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
According to
100%.
the definition.
absolutely. I actually Ooh, maybe
Care
I
to
shouldn't
share?
talk about it because I still work at the job.
You-
Oh well, that's where you just fucked
Yeah,
up. You just
you-
could have said a job.
But,
Ignore
one time.
subtitles.
It's a
and
long
tag
story short.
events.
But just like little things between it was actually me and this other girl that it was an issue with. Just putting his touching on her back, we'd be like, yo, like especially me. First of all, I don't care if
So you
if you know my
addressed it.
friends.
You addressed
Yeah,
it.
if you know my friends, I don't like being touched. That's even if you're just like my homie. Like, why are you touching me? Like, come on, back up. Don't touch me. We're not that. Like, come on.
Love
I don't know.
swagger.
I just don't. I'm not. That's not my love language. I don't like that. I don't like to be touched unless like I want you to touch me. But like, little things like the neighbor ass shit like that. Putting his arm around. Good morning, love. Come here, give me a hug, bro. You clearly see. I'm telling you, I'm not about to hug. Even my clients, my individuals is like, they saying something to people about it. Like, come on, because I told you how many times, and I'm letting you slide, and you just.
So where are you at with it now?
Oh, he's gone. He's long gone. At
Anything
that
to do
point-
with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Me and the other girl. Once it started getting to a point where now like
It was
we
uncomfortable.
both went outside of the job. We went to go get jobs elsewhere, and this guy actually that was gonna hire us literally told us the only reason he even looked into us was because of a conversation he had with our current manager, and was like, yeah, you could flirt with them. They're like yeah. Why would you say that? I'm blacking on you every other day, and you're gonna tell him that, and you see I'm trying to get out this job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
once it got to that point, I was like, oh yeah, we're done. This is done. I'm not. Now we're all gonna be up in shit because now I can't even leave the job to go to a more comfortable position that pays
Mhm.
more because they have this predisposed notion about me now
Mhm.
because of some fucking shit that you told them that's not even true. Like,
Right.
come on. Yeah.
What about you?
The actual definition.
Not the actual definition. It was more like I was singled out because I was gay for the last position that I wouldn't say fired from, but
Let's hear
I
that
quit.
story.
I was working for a very big steakhouse, Insignia by the Scottos. And
Fuck yeah, but I ain't gonna lie. The food was kind of fire.
Okay.
Oh,
And I was
I guess I
working
could order a
there.
good night.
I started as a busboy, and I worked my way up. I was starting to be a server, and then one day a server didn't show up, so they asked me to be like a bride's actual server for a wedding, and they started asking me to do like wedding stuff. So I was working for 2 years in the wedding department, and I was like getting paid pennies and taking myself off the floor serving, working for Insignia, where it's like you're taking out a big chunk of money, working for $20 an hour. And I did that for a year. And then after about a year and a half, I finally built up the balls. And I was like, oh, listen, I booked this many parties, this many events. Can I at least get a raise or some amount of commission? I swear on my mother's grave, my boss looked at me and he said, you're lucky I even let you walk through these places. You were nothing but a gay bartender dancing around in a thong before I found you. And I was, but I was making a lot more money than I was doing there, and I was able to hang out all winter. But it is what it is, and I just walked out and I quit that day and I started working at another restaurant. But it was just like, I felt like someone was actually taking my sexuality and like who I am as a person,
Mhm.
because I feel like being gay just kind of makes you nice. Also kind of bitchy, but super nice. So it was like I always wanted to like go out of my way to like work with him and do something more to get something out of it, but it never worked in my favor. And I was literally singled out because I was the only gay person at Insignia, sitting there, working there, making them money, and I just quit and started a new job.
And that was the owner?
That was the general manager, and he did have part ownership. I've never met the owner of Insignia.
You might after this.
No, right. Cease and desist.
Well, now
I'm glad you're in a new job. I'm
if
sorry
I get
that
a cease
happened
and
to you.
desist, I would actually feel honored because, like, honestly, it's like something that is heard. Because
Yeah.
I don't think I deserve that. I was a wedding planner. A gay male in his 30s is the perfect person you want planning all the weddings. Like, why would you want anything less? Just give me a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it.
Or even say, hey, I could put you back on the floor. I don't have money to give you a raise right now.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, but again,
Anything other than
I
Yeah,
wasn't
anything that
I
wasn't
wouldn't
that.
say that like that's your definition of what you said of sexually harassment, but that's what I have had in my life.
Mhm.
I've never been like bent over and raped. If that's what
That's
the
not
question.
sexual harassment.
That's
that
rape.
wasn't the
That
question.
is
It
just
is.
rape.
It is. It
That's
is.
the
That was
extreme.
0 to
See, there's a
100.
line between sexual harassment
Oh
and
my
rape.
God.
And the line is very definitive.
no one else say the R word
I don't
because
know,
I
I
have to
just,
bleep
like,
it out
I
every
just,
single
like-
time
yeah,
it's
that's
said.
great. Oh,
I just,
yeah,
like,
sorry.
don't-
Forgot. Me,
I'm
beep,
sorry.
beep,
Like
beep,
I just
every
like
episode.
don't want anyone to think that there was more to the story than what it was.
That's a lot. That's
That-
still
That was enough.
you went
Yeah.
through something pretty bad. I
Yeah,
must say. I
that was
mean,
wild.
that's horrible.
It wasn't.
Do you
fun.
have anything?
Sexually harassed?
No, against the definition.
Yeah. Right.
No.
Yeah. You don't.
I don't. I don't. I don't. I would. I
To
don't.
the
Like
definition.
literally with that
To
vibe.
the definition.
To the definition, I don't. I've been sexually assaulted. I feel like that would fall more under the category.
There we
That's
go.
under there.
Then
Oh,
yeah.
so then yeah.
That's
Yeah.
in the definition.
So then, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I was out
feel
in
like
I was
what I
out-
did was a sexual
So,
assault.
but it didn't go anywhere, and I don't feel victimized and nothing like that. I was out in Patchogue one night. I'm 5'9", so when I wear heels, I'm even taller. There was
6'4".
there was this short guy that walked by me and kind of patted me on my vagina. So in my head, I was like, I laughed it off, and I was like, oh, he probably was just swinging his arms because he's little. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not once did I think he was going. Wait. Not once did I think that because I have a bad temper. So I was like, nah, that was an accident. He was just swinging his arms, right? He passes me again. That motherfucker swiped me like a credit card from like this. So then I was like, okay. So
Like-
from back to front.
Not even front to back, back to front.
Yeah, because he came at me head on.
Oh God.
So I went and I got a bouncer and I
Light
said,
it
I told him
down,
what
huh?
happened. I had him removed and then I followed him out and then we fought. Not appropriate, but absolutely
I'd
fought a
have
man
whooped- as
in
you should.
Patchogue.
I'd have whooped his ass. That'd
Mhm.
have been the last time he ever even felt one.
Mm-hmm.
I got
I'd
jumped
have
off.
fucked
Did I
his
go
ass
home and
up.
have trouble
What?
sleeping because I was like, oh, something great? No, I
Speaking
didn't.
of that, are
If
we gonna,
anything,
are-
it was the adrenaline.
Yeah, I handled it. Right. So, like, that's why
The
it's like when you
adrenaline
ask
kept
me,
you
it's like
up.
technically by the definition, I guess so, but like, I don't feel that way. You know what I mean?
You were fondled.
Yeah, I was fond
You
of.
had your pussy swiped.
Not your pussy
By
like
a
the
short
Patties.
king. By a
And
short
Patties,
king.
bird.
pussy swipe, pussy squeak.
Right. So I
Let's
actually
go.
was sexually harassed.
Were you?
Oh wow, you're gonna tell your
Under-
story now after putting us all on the
well,
couch?
I have a list of stories that people, girls and boys, sent to me that I
Oh,
was going to
wow.
read at the end, but I put mine in there. But I might as well just tell it now. So when I was 14, me and my friend Melissa were like in the mall, and yeah, and we met a guy there, and I didn't even think I got to the point where I knew how old the guy was. Like he was just following us around.
Yeah, I was like, isn't that child abuse at 14?
So it gets worse. So he is like following us around. We're talking to him or whatever, and he asked us our names, and we were like, if you know me and Melissa, like we're goofy as fuck. So we were like, she was like, this is Katie and I'm Melissa. After that, time goes by, and the guy finds my address.
Okay, that's weird because Yeah.
It
but
gets
now I
worse.
feel
Now we're
like-
talking about
It gets
2009.
Right, like, see, this is where it's so weird because, like, now that's stalkerish.
Yeah.
So that's a
we're
different charge.
I had a
That's a
stalker.
different
That's a
charge.
You
whole
were in the
other-
mall.
You're
and in high
14. That's a
school.
different charge. Like,
Can I finish?
yes,
Light it
sorry,
down,
sorry,
ho.
go.
Light it down.
So
ho.
he finds my address, but the kicker is he finds my address and he's in prison. So then
I remember this.
after some point in time, I guess he got locked up, and I actually didn't find any of this out until I was like 25 or something, because my parents hid the letters. So this guy would send me letters and letters and letters to my house.
How old are you?
Detailing things he wanted to do to me, how he wanted to like kidnap me, all of this crazy shit. He would dedicate songs to me in the top, saying how he wanted to have my babies. We found out he was 30. I was 14. And he literally, like, the letters, I only came up, my parents never told me about any of this. So my parents at the time, I didn't know this, called the jail and they were like, is there something you could do? Because this guy is sending her letters to the house and she's 14. Like, she's not even able to do the things that you're saying on this paper.
She doesn't even know how to
It
spell
was like
14.
it was like, let's go to Mexico, drinks on me, like crazy shit, crazy ass shit. And then I was in my parents' room one day and I was like looking for like through my dad's suit pockets for something.
On some like Tyler Perry shit.
Yeah, and then I found like fucking 100 letters stacked up.
I really
From
just
meeting
want
this
to
guy
know
once.
what
From
you were
meeting this guy
looking for
once.
in your dad's suit pockets.
Probably a Newport.
No, no. My dad is an alcoholic, so I was looking for liquor bottles. Actually,
I'm crying.
yeah. So
The
I
little
was,
ones.
I was trying to catch him in a lie, and I started digging through everything.
Girl,
and
I
for some
found out
reason,
the life was a lie.
yeah, and then I dig out and I find the
Yo.
biggest thing at all. So I start ripping them open and reading them. And
Dude.
I'm like blown away because I see the guy's name. Like, I never knew his last
Yeah.
name. So then I
It all like clicked.
questioned my parents about this. And they're like, crazy. I was like, Mom, but you don't understand. When this guy got out of jail, he found me on every single social media. And he was been writing me for mad long.
Yeah,
And
we were
I've
friends
been-
at that point.
Yeah,
That's how
and then I
remember
had
the
to
story.
keep blocking him. He found out where I worked when I worked at Oasis. He would show up there off of meeting him one
You
time.
worked at Oasis?
I mean, what a time to be
Yes.
alive.
Oh my
What?
God.
Yeah, what a time to be alive. What a time that I didn't know about this.
No, not the not the strip club.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, wait, what?
The
I
cat is
was
out
just
the
over
bag.
there.
The
Not the
cat
strip
is out
club.
the bag.
No,
Literally.
no,
The nursing home.
Cat's out the back.
I worked at a
You
nursing
were
home.
Out the
Were you a
bag.
dancer or were you a bartender?
I worked at a nursing home.
You should. I
The
have,
Oasis for real.
I have a good friend who's a bartender in a strip club.
I didn't work at a
I'm
strip
a
club.
bartender in a strip club.
Well, moral of the story is
Da, da, da,
the guy
da.
still tries to add me on Facebook
Where'd
today.
that come from?
If we can circle back. The guy still tries to add me. He makes new accounts all the time to try and add me. And
Bro,
stuff.
dude, hang
Have
it up.
you
It's
have you
pathetic.
reported him?
Have you
What?
no pride?
Have you reported him?
Yeah.
Like,
I
have you
don't
done
know.
something
Like,
about it?
Yeah,
I'll
a
be
couple
honest.
of times I had
in the
to.
gay world,
Because
what
he
you
would,
were going
he,
through was
at
a
one point
fantasy.
started writing Melissa, like found
To the
her
gay
through one of my
world.
other pages,
In real life,
and
you'll
was
go to
just
jail.
writing and writing and writing. Like
That is
crazy
It's like
stuff.
stalker charges.
Oh yeah, we were actually surprised with what he was writing in the letters that they didn't add more time. I don't know what he went to jail
They
for.
should have added more.
But
Yeah,
I
they
don't
should
know.
have if they caught the letters.
Yeah,
The
crazy.
fuck?
I will
He
say,
was actually
I served
had a baby
24
with
hours
someone we
in
worked
jail
with.
once. So,
Wait,
what?
he had a baby with what?
Someone we used to work with.
I'm sorry. Wait, what? I did not have a baby with
Why?
anyone.
Not
I
you.
said I was locked up once for 24 hours. It was not fun.
This is going south. Are
Down
you going to tell
south.
us why?
Calabasas South. I got pulled over for a DWI.
So nothing to do with sexual harassment.
No. No. Oh God.
Pulled
I'm not.
over for a
I am not
DWI.
on the registry. I would never be on the
Where-
registry.
That's sex offender.
Also, I'm a daddy's type
Alright.
of person.
It's
Oh,
I gotta
He
go.
said registry like it's Target. Like somebody baby.
I'm on the wrong show.
I'm not on that registry, but you can catch my registry on Target at Tayshawn424.
Not his wish list.
Yeah, what?
What
Is that what you call it? A wish list or a
No,
registry?
I'm just making shit up at this
We
point.
was
like
definitely
we all are.
talking about unsolicited sexual
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
No, we at Target.
Anyway, Uber is starting a
Ooh.
new thing that they're going to start pairing women with women because the sexual harassment calls are coming in so
Oh
crazy.
my god.
They want them refunds. They
So,
couldn't afford the
yeah.
Oh my
Why
They
not
couldn't
just-
afford the OJ
Why
over
not?
in that
Why
bag.
not just the men not talk? The other day,
I'm
I
not-
got picked up from Kelly's party. Hashtag Kelly China. She's the greatest. And CJ, we love you. Great dad, great mom, all of them.
Right.
But we got picked up from that party, and the guy would not fucking shut up. I'm sitting there for.
That's
and
not
from
sexual harassment. They just got vibrant person.
They're
Well,
trying to get that tip.
Yeah.
Do you tip an Uber driver?
You're supposed
What?
to.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
actually didn't know that for a long time also.
Yeah. Well,
I thought it was included.
I had one
This
creepy
is
Uber driver. I'm gonna tell
broadcasting.
you exactly how I handled that. I got in the car. He was being weird. I didn't like his vibe. He said, "Miss, ma'am, something." I said, "Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm a man." It was quiet for the rest of the ride. That's exactly what I did. I
Miss,
said, "Oh no,
ma'am."
Wait,
don't
can
call
I-
me miss. I'm a
wait.
man."
Can I?
It was quiet.
Can I say something to that?
Yeah.
Because I actually do want to say something. I was raised like with my mom and dad, and my dad was at my house today. Anyone who's older than me, if you look a day older than me,
No,
I will say,
that's not what bothered
sir
me.
or ma'am.
That's not what bothered me. He was giving me creepy vibes, and
Okay.
before it even
Well,
got that where
I thought it was the sir or the
I
ma'am.
corrected him and said,
I'm like, but you're not
I
a
was like,
sir, so where
it made him quiet for
I'd
the
have
rest
been
of
like,
the
I
ride.
absolutely am.
it's
Yeah.
just a respect.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
I know the man filming this. Like my dad was that man's.
Yo,
Kenny?
shout
was
out to the man filming this.
He was.
Hey, dog.
My dad was his fucking football coach, and my dad's a dick. He's horrible.
Kenny, were you sexually harassed?
By his
No,
dad?
he's not gay.
I
He's
didn't
just
say
a
that.
dick.
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. I'm
dad's
circling
not
back to
gay.
the.
He's just
I
a
am
Yo,
dick.
circling-
Kenny, have you ever been sexually harassed?
I'm trying to
Yeah,
hold on to
no.
the reins of the topic
I know,
of
we
this show.
could. Yes, the topic, the rants, yeah.
We're going to have to bust this into 2 episodes. I'm going to have to clip it.
Bossa right.
So how do you guys feel about women being paired with women? Really?
I think it's retarded.
Oh
I think
my
it's,
God,
I
I'm
think
not
it's
gonna
extra
lie.
as fuck.
I have more issues when I'm riding with a female Uber driver than a male. And here's why. Because, and no offense. Because y'all let it take offense.
Start. Say it again.
I have more issues when I'm riding with female Uber drivers than male Uber drivers.
Okay.
And this is why.
Okay.
For whatever reason, every single female Uber driver I've ever had to have been one of the worst drivers I've ever been in the fucking car with. I feel like I'm in the back risking my life. Like, the only time I put my seatbelt on in the back seat is if it's a female Uber driver. I swear to God. I swear, every time. They almost die every single time. They're always, like, old, like, significantly older, and it's almost like you would think they have, like, cataracts or something.
Well, no sexual
Swerving up
harassment.
I
the
feel
road.
like I definitely get more men Uber drivers than females.
Me
But
too.
I don't
women
get many.
can't drive.
I don't.
I say it and I stand by it.
I drive pretty good.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I think I drive pretty good, but all of my female friends cannot drive, and we all discuss it all the time.
I drive like an angel.
I think it also is like once you get like after a certain age, you kind of
You
just mellow
sitting
out
over
driving.
there real quiet with your Versace shades. How you drive?
I drive excellent.
She does.
I could just tell.
I drive excellent.
And I feel like there's certain women you look at them like if
I
like
have
three
men,
of my
I have
closest
men
friends walked in,
compliment
you
me
know
on
they
my
can't drive.
driving since we're talking men versus female. I drive excellent, but I just don't agree with the whole statements that are being said. So I'm just quiet.
With the women.
Please
and
call
women
me out
drivers.
because I will retract my statement and I will say I'm
no,
sorry.
stand on what you said, boy.
Okay, well I do say
There
there
you go,
are
stand
at
on-
least 40% of women who drive less better than men.
Oh. Okay.
How many car accidents have you been in?
Well, 3 and 1
And then-
DWI.
and then
So-
DWI.
Okay.
well, don't forget, yeah, just that one.
I was gonna say.
Just that one.
It was right over here too.
So
glad
going
it was just
around
one.
on TikTok, there was a thing where like females would ask men like how much they think about the Roman Empire.
What
I don't
is
understand
the Roman
that.
Empire?
What is what? I don't even remember
I
that.
honestly think it's only like a white man thing because I asked like 4 different black men and they were like, "Fuck the Roman Empire. What about the slaves, bitch?"
No, literally. You think about the wrong thing.
Right.
It's a power thing.
It
It's a
depends
power
on the men.
thing.
They were like, some guys were saying like they think about it like 1,000 times a week. Like he was like, I can't get my mind off it. They were jousting and they were fucking fighting lions in the middle of a fucking thing.
That's because they
You think
play
about it a lot?
Assassin's Creed.
Okay, so we got one.
That don't mean I don't think about niggas too, but that shit crazy.
All right.
Whoa,
Woody, shut the
pause.
fuck up. You don't be sitting
Whoa,
there thinking about
pause.
no Roman Empire
Whoa,
on a regular
pause.
Tuesday at 10
Hey,
a.m.
yo!
What are you talking about?
Ah.
On your average workday, it's Wednesday, 12. Oh, here he comes. Get out the episode.
He
Your
just
outfit,
said
you're
what?
not even mad.
Here,
You got all the
here,
patterns on.
right
It's
He just
crazy.
said, he just said, y'all think about niggas. Yeah, we do.
You know what? Everybody clear the room. It's just going to be me and Woody this episode.
I have an example of sexual harassment. You want to speak on the mic? You could come sit on my lap.
He got his Jimmy shorts on for her.
So me and Big Santa in the house.
His dick about to hang out the bottom.
Alright,
No,
so
literally.
real talk though, my fault, y'all. Real talk though.
He doesn't. Oh my
Well,
God, you're
I'm
really
gonna say
blocking
I
her.
will not
we
promote
really think
sexual
about
harassment.
that little jousting shit y'all should talk. We do think about. We be at work talking
Right,
about
you
this
guys
shit.
think about the Roman Empire,
Yeah,
like on a regular day.
Imagine nigga stick a lion on your ass, and he like, yo, get this nigga up off you. Niggas
This
is like,
isn't real.
Who
Get this
got
nigga
a
up.
lion? Who got a lion in the 631, Lawrence?
Lawrence.
nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody.
But they're saying the woman's equivalent to that question. People ask like, "What do women think about all the time?" And they think about all the questions that came up were being mugged, being raped, and being in an active shooter situation.
Who thinks about that
I think
shit?
about it all the time.
You do?
Wait, what?
Like, I have a constant thing where I feel like I have to either save someone's life, save my own life, or save somebody.
No, that sounds like paranoia.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
Hey, all right,
I'm
so
walking
this is,
into a room,
this is gonna sound
checking
real crazy
exits,
coming from me,
everything.
and especially how I look. I feel like that is what everybody says pink shit.
Do you know what's
I
crazy?
never think
really-
about that.
I always do.
never
think
thought
about
about
that.
being
I always
mugged.
do.
I really don't think
I
that
thought
what's
about
gonna
my
come out of your
impulsive
mouth
thought-
is gonna be something crazy that I'm not gonna expect.
Oh, good. All right, good. I'll take that.
But
Everybody-
what
Thank you
is
for
it?
not being sensitive on cats off the bag
No,
because it's not the
no.
place for
I
it.
think she means the viewers.
Yeah, because you know,
I
I
never
look
think
like
of
a
that
white girl.
shit. Ever.
I always
Ever.
do. But I also have
ever, ever.
I
fuck-
have a thing with like a hero complex,
I
kind
think.
of. Like,
oh, this bitch is living too loud. She's
BT,
Kate
is she
Clark.
poisoning you?
My- I-
little by little, so she
literally,
can save your life.
If you ask anyone,
Exactly.
people like literally,
Somebody
I
do
work
a
in a
wellness check
hospital.
on BT right now.
Your
fuck
stomach
'em.
hurt? Your stomach.
If I work in a hospital, my biggest thing is they even gave me my own card that everyone knows that like if there's an active shooter, I'm gonna be the one to try and take them down.
Oh, well, so at work I'm different.
The
At work,
fuck?
You gotta run up to the.
I have a whole plan, like a whole
Someone
plan.
cut in, and there's a hero comes
Yeah.
along.
It's her
In the
booking it.
dream I
Fade
had,
to
I actually get so
carry
famous that I
on.
go on Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
so
Well,
it's a
that
famous
just
thing.
Well, that was a wild
No, it's
jump.
just-
It's
from-
not a hero
So she's
saving
Captain
life
fucking
thing.
America.
Yeah, she's-
she's fucking Captain
She-
America in this bitch.
She
Right,
went
right.
from
That's
being
not a
in the
hero
hospital-
complex.
The cat's out the bag. She's
That's not a
Captain
hero
America.
complex. That's
dodging
all I
bullets.
want to be famous.
Yo,
It's not even. That was just like a thing I added in because I like the show.
what do you want?
What if he lights your ass up?
Then I
Okay.
guess I'm not a hero.
Nah, you a hero though, but they don't put you on Dance with the Stars.
Well,
You
if
still happy?
he shoots me and then everyone else is saved, then I'm still a hero. Then yeah.
I'm pushing people in the way. The fuck?
It's a dog
Is
eat
that
dog
yeah?
world.
That I said that. Thank you. Thank you
It's
for
a
the
dog eat
callback.
dog world.
Thank you for the circle
You
back.
can't say
Fuck
nobody if
that.
you dead. You die
I'm
halfway
doing
through
one
the
of these.
mission.
I'm doing one of these and then backing up.
It's like,
Hell
come on.
no. Hell no. You versus me, it's always you.
Every fucking
Every
time.
fucking time.
Every goddamn time.
No.
What are we?
No.
What?
So
Nar.
Okay.
Cleo,
Nar.
good show, good reference. So to tap back into sexual harassment, 'cause
Oh,
we got,
Yeah.
we're back. We're back. We're
we
back.
got way off topic.
This was
I
a serious
have-
episode, by the way.
So serious.
Let's
every
get
time.
back serious because we're going to be
Bring it
talking
down.
about other people's stories.
I'm gonna tell you right now, just because it's somebody else's story
Doesn't
doesn't
mean
mean
I
I'm
won't
be
be able to-
Well,
serious.
let's not comment
Be
on it until
real.
it's done.
Okay.
We'll do that.
What do you mean
I can
done?
do that.
Like after you get through saying it?
Each person's, yeah.
Oh, all the stories.
No, you can comment after
Okay.
each person's story.
I need the rules. Go.
So this next one, I have a list of people's sexual harassment stories that they sent in. The first one is from my friend Deanna.
I wish I had the buttons.
Oh,
I know.
we love her.
I don't know all of them.
So Deanna worked at a pet cemetery.
Oh, we
Right.
love her.
You lost me
And
right there.
She had a guy
At the end.
at the end.
Okay,
At the end.
okay, at the end.
So Deanna worked at a pet cemetery. Her boss was like kind of a creep, but the boss was also affiliated with the mob. And on her first day of work, the friend, we'll call him Junior, the friend of the
X.
boss, the friend of the boss.
Friend X.
No, the friend of the boss, who they say is in the mob,
Okay.
came up from behind her while she was working reception and cut off a piece of her hair, put it into a piece of tape so that the owner could hang it from his rearview mirror, and he did.
No, it
Is that
sounds like
sexual harassment or like voodoo?
it sounds like
It
a
was
lot of
both.
steps.
That's voodoo.
Well,
it sounds like a lot of steps.
there's more to
happened.
it.
How did it
There's-
get to the car?
There's more to it. So he cut off the piece of the hair and then like went up behind her, like in her ear, and said something to smell you and remember you by.
And she just let him walk off with the hair.
Well, no, she flipped the fuck out
Oh, okay.
and did like caused the whole scene like this is fucking crazy. And then
I'm
she
going
ended
to
up
jail.
leaving the job.
I'm going to church. I'm going to see a high priestess.
Literally, like
Crazy. Crazy.
Cat. Just so I
sounds
know
like
you're
stories
not-
where I would catch charges left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Just so I know you're not sexually harassing me. Can I go pee?
No.
Sexual harassment. See?
see, is crazy.
Quit the job.
See, is crazy.
You could go pee.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you. May I
so-
come back?
Yeah. So
Sexual harassment is yes, you may go pee, but before you enter, what are you going to do for me?
Mhm.
Before you leave this room, what you gonna do
Yeah.
on this camera?
Did you
What
see
Show
you going
out.
to do with?
Did
I
you
gotta
see
see that
what I
best
did to
work.
the mic before?
Oh,
I don't have a dick, so
she's like, that does nothing for me.
oh.
Okay,
Oh.
All right.
all right.
Watch out for the wires.
Knocks over the whole thing.
Right. So the next story is from Anonymous, and it's when you have a boyfriend, do you feel like this is sexual harassment? When they continue to push you even after you say no, and then they call you a bitch for not engaging.
It's a
See,
good question.
This is where I'm fucked up. No, I'm going to call you dumb. I'm going to call you dumb for being with a man like that. I'm not going to call it sexual harassment. You guys fuck. You're not in the mood tonight. He's pushing it. That's just, no? Everybody's quiet.
I feel it. I to a degree, I kind of agree because I'm not gonna lie. When I'm searching for a man, at least in my opinion, careful. In my opinion,
Right.
disclaimer. If I'm looking for a man, that's something I already am thinking about. I'm thinking about the things that I wouldn't want. Like that's not something I would want in a man to be even looking for. Like I don't even want that around me. You should be okay with me not, especially if you're an older man. You probably don't even want to do it like that. But like, I feel like it shouldn't matter. That one time, I'm like, nah.
Older or a focus man.
Yeah, like you shouldn't even have the time to be up my ass that much. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? To where if I would say no that one time, it's an issue. You don't have nothing else to do. Like, even if we live together at a point, like, nigga, you're not tired.
Mhm.
We just worked all day. Like,
Let me flip that for a second though, because at work, like, so not me. I'm not having sex if I'm not in the mood. But I'll
Yeah.
hear women that are like in like long-term relationships or married or whatever, and be like, "Oh yeah, I had to have sex with my husband last night. I don't want to." So is that rape?
nah.
Some people say
I
Do you
don't
get
think
what I'm
it's-
saying? Like,
no, but if you
oh,
ask
you could be
certain
raped.
people,
Yeah,
some-
Yeah,
if
you
it's
could be
an
raped,
aggressive,
right.
like no, but like.
Yeah.
a
You
lot
know,
of people,
he's pushing. You're not in the mood.
Yeah,
He's
a
pushing.
big
Is it
topic,
sexual
people-
harassment? And then why are you still with him?
it's rape. So like a big topic a lot of people say is when you get into a relationship, the word no doesn't matter anymore. Like certain women
Oof.
will be like, "Oh, even after I said no 10 times, he still pushed me down and fucked me."
Okay, I feel like then you should probably not be with him further.
Yeah, so that's what they're saying. Like a lot of women are leaving certain relationships, and like other men aren't really understanding why, because they don't see it as I'm saying no because
That's
it's
because
their
most men aren't
girlfriend.
cognitive
They're
to
supposed
understand
to.
those things.
They're supposed to do these things, even though they're saying no.
I don't know. I've had men tell me no. If careful, because people gonna be like, oh well, he was cheating, or oh well, he was gay. No, sometimes if they just work the 16-hour fucking shift, and my little young preppy ass is over there, let's get it. No, he wants to go to bed. He wants to go to bed. That's just what it is.
Mhm.
He wants to go to sleep. He's tired. He has to do the same thing probably again tomorrow. Like,
Right.
and that's what I would want. And I don't want somebody that's I say no, now you pushing me down and shit like. And I feel like and this is in my opinion, but I feel like after like a while, that's a quality you can see in them in other ways to be able to keep and catch that. Like
Mhm.
if they're a piece of shit in that sense, they're probably a piece of shit in multiple senses.
Right. So the next one is anonymous. An old boss used to do it in subtle ways by commenting on the size of his balls in front of me and constantly rubbing them.
Okay. Call the police. You rubbing his balls.
So am I fucked up? Because to me, that's inappropriate. Was he
That's
saying like
weird.
put these balls in your mouth or touch them?
That's sexual harassment.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I could sit here for the next 20 minutes and talk about my vagina. If I'm not directing it towards you,
Yeah, if it's like an out loud
I
thing.
think
I'm gonna make you feel
I think
uncomfortable
he
if I
was-
start touching
I think
myself.
He was
But
directing
that
it
sexual
towards her.
harassment?
It was only them in the room.
Yeah.
And he was doing it only when it was only them.
yeah, then I would consider that sexual
Mm.
harassment. You got that.
You
one.
waited till you waited till you were alone.
The
with
first
her
one
to
was
fucking-
voodoo. The second one was she needs a new man. That one I think is sexual harassment.
Yeah, we onto something there.
This next one is anonymous. A male coworker used to pretend to punch out of work, then would hide in a nearby clothing rack and watch me until I clocked out and followed in my car every night. It became so bad that I ended up leaving the job and filing a lawsuit against him.
Well, if
That's
you
stalker vibes.
I saw something
I was gonna
like
say,
this.
did you win the lawsuit? I can feel like that determines the answer as to what it is.
I saw something like this on Dumois, which I love. Dumois, great podcast, and it's crazy. It's like
Did you
if
just club
some,
another podcast?
but we are going to plug
Get 'em out!
the best podcast, which is Cats Out of the Bag.
Tag us.
Say it again in the mic.
In the mic.
Cats Out of the Bag.
The best podcast.
Meow.
Oh, pussy's up for
Sorry.
cat.
But that,
Pussy's out for cat.
that's crazy. Like if you were to see somebody like looking at you over a clothing rack, sexual harassment.
Mhm.
Like regardless of what it is, that's not okay because you don't know that person. There's a line.
Is it sexual
Isn't
harassment?
it because you're
though?
not ass naked or nothing? Now we talking about him looking into her.
He's
the
also not
dressing room.
talking to her. He's just watching.
He's just watching.
Not
Like,
saying it's
stalker
okay.
vibes
It's not. It's stalker
Yeah.
vibes.
Well, I guess the following to the car may have.
would be the
on the line.
harassment part, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're looking over a rack at a girl and you're staring at her and you go to multiple racks to look at her.
It's not
Sexual
even that.
harassment.
It's the pretending to punch out and coming in through the back
that's
door
what it is.
to
'Cause
hide
he
from
could
her.
just, if he was a customer in the store, he's just like attracted to this girl looking
Right.
over the rack. And
That's
it's like,
different.
oh, like, okay, he's weird, but like, meh.
These stories are a perfect example, though,
Yeah.
how everybody's definition of it
It's
is
different.
different.
It's
Yeah.
perception, 100%.
Mhm.
It
That's
really
why
is,
it's very
because
hard to like even discuss these topics these days.
If
'cause
I were to
it's
see someone
perspective.
looking over the rack at my roommate while she was walking through the store, I would think that that's fucked up. I would think that's gross. I would think that's sexually harassing her. I feel like you're fantasizing about her.
I don't
and
know.
that's the same with you, and you. If I saw someone looking over a rack at a store and looking at you and being kind of like strange with it, to me, that's just like
I guess to me it just depends. I feel like it depends on the degree of like the staring. Like, are you
Yeah.
like how weird
and
are we
what
talking?
you.
If he's
what
just
you
looking over her
see-
because she got a listen, I'm a female. Like, you can't deny the facts. If you see a girl, she walking around dragging that wagon, you're looking.
I'm staring.
You're staring, bro. My
Right.
eyes are out of their fucking socket. And if I happen to look over a rack to get a better view, I don't know if that's harassment. But you don't. I mean, again, it depends on.
I
the
guess it
if it's
depends
like
how
they're-
creepy they look.
Yeah, if they're mad creepy about it, like they're like searching through, like moving clothes out the way, they trying to be sneaky. They're pretending to clock out of work.
Right.
They're following you to the car. I guess it's the degree of it.
Like, can I use an example? If I was searching through a rack and I saw any of you girls, like, I would look there, I'd be like, okay, yeah, they're cute. But I wouldn't follow rack to rack to rack.
Yeah.
So there's a line of, like, where it becomes weird.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it honestly just depends on who it is.
Yeah, I think we all agree it's weird. It's just now maybe I'm just being too technical because is it sexual
is it sexual
harassment or is
harassment?
it stalkerish?
Or is it just you're
Right.
a stalker?
Right.
Has
There is
anybody-
a,
And I feel like the only reason
law-wise, there's a very fine line between the two.
I feel like the only reason I'm being so technical is because I feel like it's just become too sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
You have
like
to be technical.
if this was years ago, I wouldn't be trying to define and
Explain it.
separate everything. But I just feel like the world has become so fucking sensitive
If this was
that
years
if
ago,
I
we
look at
wouldn't
you
even
too
be
long,
having-
it's cause for a
Sexual
discussion,
harassment.
uncomfortability.
Right.
I think
I'm judging you. I'm discriminating. Like,
I think
mm-mm.
it's very important to be technical because people take these things and run with it and then forget that like when they get the law involved, they're like, why didn't I win this case? Why didn't it go? Because
Because
the
you
law
fabricated
is,
the shit out of it.
The law
Right.
is technical. It's what are the facts?
Right.
The facts are that's probably not sexual harassment and it's probably stalking.
Mhm.
There's a fine
Right.
line. It's a very
Mhm.
fine line.
And that's how you would file your lawsuit. You have to go to someone that actually knows.
Right.
Yeah.
The next one is actually has to do with me also, but my friend reminded me of it. So me and my friend Melissa used to own a bar, and me and my friend and my older brother went there one night to visit her, and we weren't drinking or anything. Like, we just literally went there because she owned the bar, and my brother wanted to drink. So, like, we were like the DDs kind of.
Melissa.
Yeah.
So
Melissa,
shout out to
Melissa.
Melissa.
So
Shout out to Melissa.
we're sitting there, we're chatting it up, we're talking to her because she owns the place, and we're doing all these things. And then me and Melissa used to work at a strip club. We were like promoters, and a guy that used to go there that like liked me from like me working there as a promoter randomly showed up to Melissa's bar. Like, I didn't invite him, he just randomly showed up there. So the guy, he was also a lot older, comes there, and I was like kind of shocked because no one invited him, and he wasn't even from like like this part of town. Like, it was in Suffolk, the bar that she owned, and he was from like deep Nassau. So we were like thrown off a little bit, and then he kept like trying to talk to me. My brother just kept standing like in between us, and my other friend that was there at the time, she was standing in between us, and then he kept ordering me drinks, and I was like, no, I'm not drinking. Like, please stop ordering drinks. So then he would drink them. Then he puts a shot down in front of me, and he was like, come on, just do one shot with me. Please just do the shot with me. Like, he just literally wouldn't let it go. And everybody could see that, like, I was getting, like, uncomfortable because it was, like, just very weird how persistent he was. So my friend took the shot. She was like, I'll do it. And she takes the shot. Within 30 minutes, we realized, like, she was roofied. So technically, the hit was for me. And then
she a real ass friend.
within 30 minutes, literally, she was out of it.
Part of her probably knew that too, and that's why she did that.
My brother had to carry her down to the car. She was fucking done for. We had to carry her into the house. I had to stay up the whole night with her and like hold her head to the side because she was throwing up and like shitting at the same time. Like, it was bad. It was horrible. Then we were never able to find him again.
Is that what roofing does to a female?
I don't
I've
know.
heard crazy shit.
You trying to roofie female to what? Take advantage of her, right? So she puking and shitting, and you
I
trying
don't
to
know.
stick a
That's
dick somewhere?
Because I know
If
somebody
you're
that was
roo-
roofie
if-
too. They were seasoned. They're
Yeah,
foaming out
if
the
you're-
mouth.
Yeah,
All types
it
of
If
shit.
you're
depends.
roofing a girl, you're going to go home and deal with her with like literal limp body.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a corpse,
Dahmer
a dead
shit.
body in
Dead-
front of
dead
you,
ass.
that's what it's
Wild.
like roofing
It was-
somebody.
it was
I'm not gonna say a girl. It
crazy.
could be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Anybody.
shout out
Trust
to
me,
her. She took a roofie for me.
It is.
That's a real ass friend. That's a rider, Melissa.
It wasn't Melissa.
I can
Didn't
rock
take the
with
It
shot.
you.
wasn't
Oh, and Melissa. It
No.
wasn't Melissa.
I was
I
about
was
to say,
gonna say
we about to-
Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa. Let's call
She
her.
lit.
It wasn't her. It was my friend Carrie, actually.
Whoa, shout out Carrie.
took
Yeah,
the
that's
shot.
crazy. That's a real risk. Because
Yeah.
like,
Yo,
I feel like part of
really,
her probably knew. Like,
Yeah.
Shout out to Carrie.
So
Shout out for you for taking that because I wouldn't.
the next one is from Anonymous, and it's from a boy. And he said, a female coworker used to leave me love notes on my car with pictures of my girlfriend cut up on the inside.
okay. And this is where the stalker comes in. Call the police. They need to do hard time.
He did.
Good.
She got fired. She
That
ended
is
up getting
crazy.
fired because they didn't even work on the same floor. And like she would start by like saying like subtle things to him, and he thought like she was just joking around. And then like it got like more intense. Like she would put pictures of them like in a notebook together
Oh my
and
God.
like crazy
Building a
ass stuff.
shrine to that man
And
at
then
home.
he started like filing reports and nothing was getting done. And then finally she got a picture of his girlfriend and cut it up inside like a lengthy note.
I'll tell you something. I will not suppress to no jailhouse bullshit. I watch way too many jailhouse shows. These things with like, oh, keep going.
Like Law and Order.
Yeah,
SVU?
Mm.
them all.
So confused right now.
But
My
the cutting-
ADHD is
He's saying
ADHD.
it's-
I'm like, what?
Hey.
It's
My
like a
mind
show.
went- My mind went to
My
like,
attention is so deficit right now.
It's in the deficit. It
mine-
is in the
mine is
deficit.
not in
I
the
thought I was
deficit.
focused
Mine
for a
is
second,
on
and then I
whole
said, no,
nother-
jailhouse
No, wait a minute.
shenanigans.
I'm like, y'all are talking
You and
about
I both
what
were
type of
like,
jail? I'm like,
I know. I was like, am I following?
I'm trying to escape from jail that I'm not even in. Yeah.
So I feel like
Please
Culture Shock does
drink
mental
it.
health episodes.
Shout out my show.
Shout out
Culture Shock.
Culture Shock.
Shout out
I
Culture
do-
Shock.
I'ma set you two
shout
up.
out to
Right.
Culture
For an
Shock.
appointment.
Pat.
Pat,
Yo, let me
Pat.
Pat.
I've known,
Pat, we
I've
got
known
one.
Pat, years.
Pat, we
We've
got
known
one.
years growing up. And
Pat.
I always show up, Pat.
Pat. Why you ain't had him on the
Pat,
show?
where you at?
Show the whole end of the
Wait,
show, Patrick.
Culture Shock is Pat, Ben, all them. Like,
No, it's me, Pat, and Moo. Shout out Moo. JK. F you.
also, Moo gives some good juice, like the juices.
Juice?
Yeah, I know. I realized what I said after I said it.
Hello?
But wait, I was just talking about
Hello?
that word.
Are we
This
still
is where
on
we have to
air?
end.
This was just a soft launch.
can't-
for,
What?
It was a soft launch. It was a soft launch.
Wait,
No, Moo.
Kenny, are you still rolling? Okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm back.
Oh,
Moo. Let me gather myself. Hold on.
it was a soft
Moo.
launch for Moo.
Moo.
No.
Moo. This is going on Culture
Shout
Shock.
out to your juice company, Moo.
Yeah, seriously.
Shout out to the juices, Moo.
Okay, but
What I
before
was
we
trying to say was the watermelon mint was the best juice that Moo had.
Okay, but speaking of another juice, Exotic Margs LI.
That's not juice.
Our new sponsor makes
It's
the
adult
most
juice.
amazing margaritas. As you can see, we all
We
finished
all-
them.
yeah.
Yo, this shit was
lickety-split.
bomb.
And other
I'm not even
cocktails.
lying.
Mhm.
Also, not margaritas, other cocktails.
And other cocktails. 4 shots of your favorite liquor in each drink.
We played Russian roulette, so we don't
We
even
did.
know.
We don't
yeah,
know what
we
was
mixed
what,
it
but
up.
Yeah.
it was all fucking
No
fire.
labels. We just grabbed one and that was
This
it.
shit was
Gas.
fire.
All of
So
it was
good.
gas.
Shout out to our new sponsor, Exotic Margs LI. Follow him on the gram. He's tagged in my bio. Please, please, please follow him. Thank you to you.
Bring the
Yeah.
juice.
Kenny, get us out of here.
Yeah.
Can he cut it?